Hello, and we are back at in round 3 of the Paragon Games Ruby Open. We have got Dillon Kikkawa and Rory Bolt playing. Dillon on red-white vehicles and Rory on blue-red tower. And I am joined by the very special, cool, very cool guy, Jamie
Very
Butler.
special. I'm very special, thank you.
All right.
I'm really glad to see that Rory Bolt is playing Tower.
Yes,
because
this
I
feels
feel
like
like
a
it really goes after his namesake as well.
That is very
the fact
true.
that he's playing a card that can just keep bolting things.
Yep. Okay.
But yes, this is very much a Jamie deck. I'm very happy to see this deck.
Okay. Cool. And I think this will be an interesting matchup. Dillon on a very aggressive deck.
Ooh, Dillon on one land.
Oh, and
no white.
No white. That could be a problem because, of course, this red-white deck has a lot of 1-mana 2-drops.
It just
And that's
gives Rory all the time
to
he
find the
needs
pieces.
to try and set up the fancy tower.
Mm.
Oh, but there
Okay,
we go.
oh,
White
he found white
sauce.
off the
We're
top.
back in the game.
Okay. So, okay, it's not the worst, and Selfless Spirit is going to be a pretty good card against Rory here. We did see in round 1, Dougal had to face down JP, and he also had a Selfless Spirit that, at the end of the day, what it ends up doing is eating one of the less valuable... it eats a removal spell.
Yeah.
When there's something that you'd rather kill on the board. So
Yeah. Though I'm not sure how much Wrath type effects that Rory's going to be playing, which makes the Selfless Spirit not quite as good, because you kind of want to kill a 2-1 flyer anyway.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Still, it just means that once like a bigger creature gets on the board, you're kind of forced to just take care of it. And the Selfless Spirit just needs to die as soon as possible. It's kind of just...
Yeah, I'm loving all the Pokemon tokens people are breaking out for the energy, courtesy of Wizards failing to print a energy token.
They might get that one day. I'm hoping for it in the next set.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it is in the next set. They just left it off the print sheet for the first run for some reason.
Yeah, okay. Well, they do a lot of things. You have to give them a bit of a break. Sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
how explosive is Dillon's deck going to get here?
It's not, the most explosive start. The fact that Rory's managed to stay at 18 life coming into this turn and get his sort of key piece, the engine of the deck, on the board is a pretty good outcome. So I feel like Rory's not in the worst spot right now.
Yep. If Dillon starts pumping out some vehicles, how quickly is he capable of killing Rory?
He can do it pretty fast. Like, the deck can definitely lay on the damage very fast. But
was that a Depala straight into counterspell?
yeah, it looks like a Void Shatter took care of a Depala. So, I mean, again, Rory has... he's just been... Everything's sort of gone right for him so far. The start hasn't been super fast.
You can see how quickly Rory's playing. He's clearly played this deck more than once.
He knows what's going on, yep. And, of course, the Dynavolt, what the advantage Rory gets from this is every time he casts a spell, oh, wow. And again.
Oh, that value.
He just... so not only is he getting 1-for-1 from every single spell he's played so far, he's actually just got a free bolt out of it. So he is... Is
that a take inventory?
In his hand?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. But he's just in
the drawing cards.
Yeah.
This deck seems so fun.
And it's not just drawing cards, he's getting that energy as he goes. And wow.
Oh.
Okay. This is looking
I
pretty
suppose
good
this
for
is the
Rory.
point where things start to get real scary.
Yeah. So Rory's sitting there with he's just two energy away from having a second bolt on the tower, and I think he's just going to go to the face here. I think he's looking to close this game out, so I assume he's just... Whoa. I don't think he just gained... Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. 17 life. Okay, so, I mean, this signals that Rory is just not concerned about this Thrive Inspector remotely. He does have a huge 5-7 on the board. A 5-6, sorry.
Fiery Temper Lightning Axe combo in hand.
Wow, to just deal with whatever might show up.
2 mana, gain 4 energy, kill 2 things.
Yep, seems good.
Yeah.
So it looks like Rory's plan is playing out the way he expects it to. And now he's just got enough mana that he can afford not to be holding up. He doesn't have to hold up 6 again this turn. He's already got his gigantic Gear Hulk on the board. Let's have a quick look at that guy. There it is.
So, does Dillon have really much of a comeback mechanic here, or is this game pretty much done?
Is he playing main board Declaration? That's one of the ways he gets
there. He does have 3 copies of Declaration in Stone in his deck.
And there it is. He did find it to take care of that Gear Hulk.
And Rory appears to be out of counter spells at the present time.
So it's not the worst for Rory. He's still kind of like, he's got a big life total advantage. He's got another bolt just waiting there on the Dynavolt Tower. And he gets the draw card as well. So, you know, the Declaration, it's great when you're already ahead in the aggressive decks and you get to take this huge blocker out of the way and then swing for a ton of damage. In this case, it just doesn't really do... It gets rid of the threat, but it doesn't really stop Rory doing what he wants to do here. So... He's going for the Lightning Axe. Okay, just going for the full burn and getting 4 energy in the process.
I assume he's going face here with the Fiery Temper.
Oh, he's choosing to get rid of the... Oh, no, he would have Lightning Axed the creature, of course, yep. Yeah, so...
and also bolted with the Dynavolt Tower to the face as well.
On that same turn, yep. So, pretty good, and he's just 1 energy off another activation here. So, Dillon's actually getting pretty close to being dead here. Oh, there we go. So he's just... Wow.
Ooh, so, here we go.
I mean, cards like this, they're great when you've got other things attacking, and it's going to kill your opponent. But
Rory doesn't think have much going on here. I think he's ripped a couple of lands off the top, which
not what
maybe
he wants here.
He blew his load a little bit too early there.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a problem here for Rory.
Particularly because Rory's now on a 1-turn clock.
Yep. Well,
assuming he draws nothing.
Yeah, so the Fleet Wheel...
Does Rory have any manlands hiding in that pile? Doesn't look like
unsure. But, so he does get hit for 6 here.
Yep.
So he needs to find something.
Oof. He needs to find 2 somethings.
I mean,
so he needs a little spell in the tower.
Fiery Temple plus Tower could do it. Let's see what he drew.
Go Van Bombardment.
Okay, it's not the worst. Well, that's not bad. So
keeps creatures off the board.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not going to stop anything getting crewed next turn.
Except that he has the tower monies to be able to kill whichever vehicle.
Yep. Unless it's a Veteran Motorist or a Defaler. So, let's see what he's got. It is the Motorist, okay.
That still won't... It only gives the tower +1/+0?
It will give the creature... either one of his vehicles will become 4 toughness. And this is not something that Rory can respond to. I believe, yep. There you go. So the... yeah. So, close one. Rory almost got there.
Yeah, but, I think Rory rushed that a little bit. But I think if he hadn't gone face quite so many times that game, he might have been able to...
Just save some removal of creatures later on.
Yep.
Possibly, yeah. But I guess seeing that Dillon didn't have much pressure on the board, he may have just been...
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Trying to get there before the vehicles came down.
Yeah, so that losing the Torrential Gearhawk was pretty big there.
So with Dillon giving him that much time, it's going to be a bit of an awkward matchup if Dillon has a good start next time.
Absolutely. I think it is going to be a harder one for Rory to deal with. But let's jump over to sideboards. So Dillon's got some pretty spicy cards to bring in here. He could... he'd probably want to just be finding ways to deal lots of damage and efficient ways to deal with Rory's creature threats that show up. So I wouldn't be surprised if Stasis Snare came in. Yep.
I wouldn't also be surprised if Fragmentize comes in to deal with the tower.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. So the tower does meet the Fragmentize condition.
Yep. And only 1 mana for Fragmentize means that you're not really losing out on much mana there.
Yep. Absolutely. It's one of the cheap sort of ways that Dillon can respond to this. So there it is, Fragmentize. Given that Dynavolt Tower is less than 4 mana...
Do you consider Skywhaler's Shot to deal with the...
it's a very reactive card, and I don't think that Dillon wants to be playing reactively in this matchup. Fair. I think he wants to be the one...
yep. It does, however, kill all of Rory's creatures.
That is true. He's already got the Declarations and the Stasis Snares.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're possibly better answers. Because they can respond to the... they can't be... They're not going to give Rory a card. So when he Stasis Snare... Declaration Stone will...
yep.
Yeah.
But why Stasis Snare over Skywhaler's Shot in this situation?
You can... you can respond to... You can still get the damage through. So if the Gearhawk flashes in, you can respond... One enters the battlefield by Stasis Snaring it, getting it out of the way.
Skywhaler's Shot's an instant.
Does that not target attacking creatures?
Nope. It's
okay.
Creature with power 3 or more. Scry 1.
Yep, seems good too. Alright, and how about Rory?
I'm assuming he's got some something to blow everything up, surely.
Ceremonious Rejection. That's pretty good against colorless spells.
Yep. Thinking the ice is in the side. I'm surprised by that.
That's also probably a reasonable thing to bring in here.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Hitting on the board.
Plus a few spells and you're back to square one.
Yep, and it can interact with vehicles. So one of the problems with a lot of decks is that removal tends to be, especially in these colors, tends to be sorcery feed.
Yep.
Having ways to interact at instant speed with a vehicle deck is pretty valuable as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ceremonious Rejections coming either. They are pretty good against vehicles.
Yes, very much so.
Alright, let's see if the players are ready. Oh. So they are. Yep, they're drawing their hands. Let's see how it goes. Rory choosing to play, not surprisingly. Okay. And looks like both players have chosen to keep. Okay. And we've got that white mana on turn 1. Didn't really stop Dillon last time, but
true.
It's definitely not bad here. Okay. Let's see how Rory follows up.
There's the thing in the ice. Yep. Unsurprising.
Yeah. So pretty good. So of course against aggro decks, Rory's life total matters a lot more than Dillon's. So having the option to just block creatures is really fine. He chooses not to here.
What here is he playing around?
Probably a Harness Lightning or something along those lines. But
yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't really expect Dillon to be wanting to play that card against Rory. There's not too many targets there, but you know, Rory, he's okay with taking that 1 damage there.
Yeah.
He just values Thing in the Ice a lot more. I guess Dillon might have had a card like Built to Smash, which could have been a +3, and that would have taken the Thing in the Ice out. And I think Dillon would have been happy to make a trade for Built to Smash it with the Thing in the Ice.
Definitely. Though, looking at the deck lists, it does not appear that Dillon has Built to Smash. Not that Rory would know this, but
so the players, of course, don't have this information. So. And there is Soulful Spirit. I think it's going to be one of the stronger cards in this matchup. It is going to make... Rory needs to answer that before that Copter gets turned online, so... it looks like... Okay, so it looks like what happened there was that the Throw Up and Inspector did crew the Copter. So, Rory pointing Lightning Axe at the Copter, sort of forcing the issue, making Dillon sacrifice the Soulful Spirit there. So good news for Dillon is he does get the loot there. Bad news for Rory is Dillon gets the loot and he's going to take 3 damage.
There we go with an Anticipate, bringing the Thing in the Ice down to 2 counters.
Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's have a look at that card. Smuggler's Copter. So one of the format-defining cards at the moment.
Definitely one of the most pushed cards out of Kaladesh.
Absolutely.
It certainly has an awful lot of text.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways they could have made this card weaker, and it'd still be seen play now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The fact that any creature that has a power over 0 is capable of crewing this makes it fit so neatly into so many decks.
Yeah, and it's of course colorless. Any deck can actually, literally any deck can cast this spell.
Yep. The only requirement is you have a dude.
Absolutely. And there's just so many ways it gets value. And so many things interact with it very well. Okay,
Negates.
Not bad. Not bad for Rory there. And yeah, it's just a matter of time now. That thing is going to flip. So this is really going to have to... Dillon's really going to have to play around this extra activation. So he won't want to commit too much more to the board here. And just try to force Rory to not get too much value off the flip.
Yep.
Okay. What was the other side of Thing in the Ice called?
Big hulking 7/8 thing. I'm not actually too sure about that one. So here Dillon's crewing, so Rory's going to, I assume...
So this is kind of... It actually works out not that well for Rory.
Decide if he wants to discard both his cards. Yep. Discarding the tower just to flip.
So this... I think this is going to work out... it's not going to work out that well for Rory.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he waited. He waited till combat to the copter was a creature.
The copter was a creature. However, he doesn't get to kill anything with his lightning axe, so he's essentially discarding 2 cards to flip his thing in the ice. Which...
Okay. Working hard, that's the word.
Ooh. 2 Smuggler's Copters on the field here.
Okay, this could be trouble for
Rory with a land in hand.
So this it's pretty big. It is a 7/8, but those things fly.
Against 2 flyers.
He does have the creature line this time, so he gets the Wandering Fumarole to attack him. So that's a lot of damage. So Dillon probably quite happy to throw 1 copter in front of this.
Yep. Oh, gets the free loot.
Yep, pretty good.
Even if Rory chooses not to trade.
Wow, and he's discarding a Fragmentize here. So I think he thinks he can win the game before the
Dynavolt Tower becomes
a
relevant.
problem. Yeah. Okay. And he trades a land there even, so yeah. I can't imagine Rory's too happy about that trade.
Yeah, there is. Rory plays his 5th land out.
Yeah. And I think Dillon had a Pianala in hand, which is probably going to be quite good here.
And he's got a Needle Spires as well, so that next turn
he's got the 4 mana for it as well, so it's looking pretty good for Dillon here. Attacks even more value with the loots.
Yep. There's 2 lands in hand. If Rory finds a removal spell or 2, he could stabilize this.
There's always hope. Is he playing Radiant Flames or anything like this?
As far as I'm aware, he's not.
Okay. Doesn't really have a
which
sweeper.
Is it's not entirely surprising, seeing as
it's only 2 colors.
It's only 2 colors.
Yeah. But I mean, dealing 2 damage to everything on board would be decent here.
Yep.
And of course, there is the
But then you play Kozilek's Return.
Right. That's
maybe you just
And we do have the Copter token there. So that's a promo for people who pre-registered for events. Illustrated by Joshua O'Fell, local artist, Magic player as well. Pretty cool guy.
Some great array of different coloured tokens.
Yeah,
to see.
Yeah, we've got all of them scrolls on the Paragon Games articles website now. So if you want to see some more pretty art, you can jump there.
Here we go in again.
Okay, and Dillon seems to
have
decided he might end up. It may have been. So there's a few reasons why he doesn't actually have that much power on the board. So he does have to consider a chump block with the Copter here.
Yeah.
The value of keeping
one here is awkward.
It is, yeah.
And Rory has yet another Fumarole on the board, so if he flips another land, he can still attack with that then the next turn. So
yep. So I think he's trying to work out if he's got the kill with the Needle Spires on the following turn. Of course, the value of keeping the Copter around is that if Rory does manage to somehow stabilize and play a big threat, Dillon has the option to sacrifice the Copter to make that blocker take a blocker out.
So Dillon's dropping here to 2, which I mean, I assume means that he's calculated that he does indeed have lethal.
Yeah. Or even if not, he's got some way to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 10 damage coming in against no mana and no blockers. I think this is going to do it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. What is that last card Rory's got in hand? So Needle Spires, of course, having double strike means it is dealing quite a bit of damage, and he gets to do a pump on the Copter as well if he needed. So
there it is. Do it. 2 very quick matches.
Yeah. So yeah, this is
this new standard has become a lot quicker than the previous one.
There is, yeah. Like so, I mean, there's a few of the other mid deck does a pretty good job of making games run a bit longer, stabilizing and sort of winning with big Emrakul wins and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's just a lot of these really aggressive red-white vehicles decks, the Mardu deck, green-red energy that we saw on the stream not that long ago. Definitely. So like decks, you need to be prepared for these aggressive decks because they can just
kill you really, really quickly.
Well, creatures are just so efficiently costed, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of power in creatures these days, and they can
vehicles are so annoying to deal with.
They're tough to deal with, absolutely. Especially in blue-red. Like, it's not the best color. Green does get some of that artifact hate. White has the ability to use cards like Fragmentize.
Yep.
So... And, not to... Sorry, like, Dillon just played that fantastically as well. He saw the problem cards on the board. He sort of forced Rory to use that thing in the ice in a kind of suboptimal way and was able to just rebuild the board immediately afterwards. So
There was the potential that perhaps Rory could have delayed flipping the thing in the ice for a little bit. But
Yeah. So there was, I guess, until he found like maybe more pieces of his deck or something like that. But you can't really let yourself take too much damage from the vehicles. Though, so it is kind of a tough one.
Because if he waits a turn, then he gets to keep the Dynavolt Tower, gets the tower in play, and then discards a land instead.
Yeah, and it looks like that
again, he just drew 2 more land after that. So,
and it looks like Dillon just I think we're just seeing his sideboard there. Looks like he brought in
Nubidians and Enchanter.
Just to go a little bit longer. Also, cards that are hard for Rory to interact
and unsurprisingly, Fragmentize.
Yeah. So I think the best way Rory has to interact with those cards is the Tower and Fiery Temper. Anyway, that'll do it. So good work to Dillon. So he did, of course, make the semi-finals of the Onyx Open in Modern, and now he's showing us that he's also sort of he's 3-0 right now. He's definitely got the chops to make things happen in Standard.
Certainly racking up the Paragon points here.
Yeah, big time. And Rory, of course, he's made every top 8 of every event so far.
Really?
He has. So he's definitely putting up a pretty consistent record here. And being at 2-1 doesn't at all knock him out of that spot right now. So
we could potentially see these guys in the top 8 today.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
In the, what are we calling it? The
championship.
The championship series
so.
at the end.
Rory's looking pretty good. He's on quite a few Paragon points.
Yeah.
And he's got the match points to sort of help him with breakers as well. So.
Excellent. Cool.
Okay, well, cool. We'll play Dillon. And bad luck to Rory, but he's still looking pretty good. I think he's definitely a good player. He's shown us that he's got what it takes to make top 8s.
Yep.
So,
hopefully he gets matched against a few slower decks
maybe,
for the rest of the day.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Jamie, for joining in the booth. We will take a break, and we'll be back for round 4 of the Paragon Games Ruby Open.